listening. The most precious gift that we can give to another human being is the gift of time and attention. When we give somebody time and attention, we give them a part of our life. What could be more powerful than that? We've all been in situations where you're talking to another human and they're distracted. They're either distracted, you can tell, they're just not there, their mind isn't with you, or they're distracted by people, the environment, or the worst possible distraction of all, and you know it, it's the phone. When we're going to have a conversation with somebody, it's important to remove all of those distractions and be fully present. Mindset is important to clear your mind of any distractions, not just the physical distractions around you, but what's going on in your head. You have to give that other person space. This is what listening is all about. It's not just about paying attention with your ears. It's about getting your head in the right place to begin with, getting your heart in the right place, making sure that you're open to listening, to hearing. You're open to hearing the message. And that message that's coming from the other person might not be nice. Their tone might not necessarily be what they intended it to be, or certainly what you want it to be. Great listeners know to hold the space open for somebody to express themselves in many different ways. It's going to come through in the spoken word, in the content. It will come through in tone. It will come through in body language. A good listener has the ability to listen and absorb all facets of communication. Great listeners are okay with silence. Sometimes people are reluctant to share their entire thought, to give you the whole story. And they may pause. That pause can be incredibly powerful if you just hold the space. Just hold it. And it's uncomfortable, right? But when you do that, the person will go deeper, perhaps provide a deeper explanation, provide additional content, context, anything that will help the communication process. And having the courage to hold that pause can be incredibly powerful. Active listening is all about asking clarifying questions, going deeper, and not allowing people to come out with some blanket statement that is often charged with emotion. Something like, we're never going to meet our targets, we don't have enough people. Whoa, what? That's a huge, broad statement. It usually comes with a lot of emotion. A good listener will be able to probe, again, in a well-intended, authentic way. Well, let's talk about that. What targets specifically are you concerned about? Is there one target that's more difficult than another? Then let's talk about the resource situation around that target. And they gradually peel back the onion until you get to the real issue and you're able to address it. That's what great listeners do, but they do it without any type of accusatory tone and certainly no judgment. You have to be open, which is why it's so important to have your mind and your heart in the right place. A mistake that we often make, and I know I do, is we jump to the conclusion or we want to interject our opinion before the person has finished. And I'm so guilty of this. I have to work on this all the time. Give the person space to fully explore their thought. Even though you might have something that you just want to jump in, don't. Resist the urge. And if you're a higher level, if you're the leader of a team and you're having a team discussion, don't be the first person to put your opinion forward. Because what happens when you do that is other people just think that if they have an opinion or something that they want to say that is directly opposed to your position, they won't offer that opinion. You'll shut down communication because people always want to, for the most part, want to please the leader. So as a leader, don't be the first to put your opinion forward. Put the issue out there, get the opinion of other people, and listen. Then it's important to summarize and clarify what you've heard. So if I understand you correctly, our sales target for customer ABC is 50% higher than previous years, and that's a concern. Did I understand that correctly? And then you'll get people that will come back and go, no, well, that wasn't exactly what I said. Okay. So now we're getting into a deeper level of understanding. So summarize, clarify, and feed back what you've heard. This next point is taking listening to another level. Let's talk about focusing on outcomes. When we listen and engage in a conversation with people, often we're trying to defend our position or we're trying to show that we're right and they're wrong. It's not about who's right and who's wrong. Let me say that again. It's not about being right. And when I say that to people, they say, what? Well, of course it's about being right. No, it isn't. It's about getting to the right outcome. The image that you'll see, it's two people looking at a 6 or a 9, and they're both right. Well, that's right, because from their perspective, they're both right. What's missing is you haven't taken the time to see the other side of the argument. And I have seen this play out in business time and time again. This is where great listening skills come into play. It's about taking the time to understand the other person's position without judgment. And it's not about being right or wrong. It's about achieving the right business outcome. Now, it's possible that both people in the conversation may feel like they didn't exactly get their way, but the conversation that will take place requires communication outwardly of the position and then listening. To be clear, the right business outcome is the best business outcome. It's not about being right or wrong. It's about putting your individual requirements and individual preferences aside, working with another person to identify the best possible outcome. Authentic leaders know how to do this, and they do it well. And it's all based on good, solid listening skills. Now's the time to take an action. Be very intentional about listening, about how you listen to the next person that you get into a conversation with. If it's not the next person, write down the person that you're going to practice active listening with.